Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, your arena of service, brought to you by financialfreedomtool.com. Plenty of money for life.
Tips to be your best with the professor and Mary-Lynn for your big success.
Here we are, Mary-Lynn, episode number 1005.
1,000.
I just say it like you do.
1005. Yeah.
That's right.
And our first podcast episode in the year 2020.
Yes. Isn't there a song about the year 2020? I don't know. Anyway, there's a song in my head, but you don't want to hear me sing it. So, well, today we're going to talk about your arena of service, and it's the place where you can make the greatest positive impact in the life of others.
And in doing so, in your life as well.
Hi, I'm George Kruger, the professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. Our show today is inspired by our last show, way back when, Len, in 2019.
It's like a year ago.
Yeah. When we shared 5 easy steps to personal leadership. And you'll find a link to that show in today's show notes in case you missed it. And we had so much material left over from that show when we were done that we felt it warranted another show. So we hope you agree.
Well, now, according to the dictionary, success is the accomplishment of something you set out to do.
But what if that accomplishment harms others? Is that success?
We think not.
No.
I mean, you could rob a bank and be a success, according to the dictionary.
Successfully rob a bank.
Exactly.
But is that a success?
Yes, we think not, because we think that part of the definition for success should be, you reaching your maximum level, but also helping others in the process.
Yeah.
So that's why we talk about big success rather than just success.
Right, because big success is inner peace, which flows from 3 sources. Finding and fulfilling your calling is 1.
Striving daily to reach your full potential.
And 3 is staying true to your vision and values.
So today we want to talk about that first one, finding and fulfilling your calling. That's where big success starts.
So let's start by talking about calling and passion, because we always hear follow your passion much more than we hear follow your calling. Mm-hmm. So why is there so much focus on passion, and how does calling compare?
Well, passion certainly has its pluses. I mean, if you can do something you love, that's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Now, there are other things that need to come along with that, but I mean, that's fantastic. The problem that the two of us have with what we'll call the passion doctrine is that it's really telling us a partial truth.
And there is a downside to passion, believe it or not, and we have a link to that in today's show notes where you can read more about that.
So, you just think about it. Passion is a roaring fire. Passion is, I lay my eyes on Mary-Lynn for the first time, and oh my goodness, I feel passion. And over time, though,
Wait a minute.
I shouldn't have used you as the example, doggone it.
What is going on here?
But you know what I'm saying, right?
The show is over, folks.
Let's hope it's not just more, or it's not more than the show. But think about it. When you first met the person that you ended up, being the one, right? You do. I mean, we look through rose-colored glasses, right?
Sure. They
can do no wrong. They're just absolutely perfect. And over time, that passion, that fire turns into true love, deep love, in a different, it's different than passion.
Oh, look at you
Now,
You've recovered well, Mr. Kruger.
Well, thank you very much. So, a lot of people don't realize that passion is like a roaring fire. A lot of people who follow their passion end up getting burned. And the passion flares up, but then quickly weakens.
So then, let's talk about calling. What is calling then?
So calling is more like a smoldering fire. We've got a fire pit in our backyard, and, we know that we can burn all kinds of wood in a day, and the next morning when we come out, if we just stoke that fire a little bit, it's got a lot of heat in it. It's going to actually fire up. That's what a calling's like. It just keeps burning. Just poke a little bit to get that fire to flame up and provide more heat. Without question, passion can be a motivating force.
It's like the spark.
Exactly. But we tend to romanticize our passion. We when we're looking at something different, when we're looking at something new, we tend to see all the good parts, and we leave out, or we don't dig deep enough to see kind of what's lying underneath the surface. When you're following your passion, when those blinders come off, and we run headfirst into the inevitable obstacles where things start to get hard, well, our motivation can quickly kind of wash away.
Right. Your passion for that idea or that goal or that resolution can start fading.
Yes, exactly right. So motivation without a calling is kind of like a tire with a nail in it. In fact, we experienced this just recently, Mary-Lynn. Went out in the morning and we had a flat tire.
Yeah.
Well, we pumped it up. It worked. Next day we went out, we had a flat tire. Took it to the car dealer and turns out that we had a nail in it. Well, that's exactly kind of how it can be if we don't have a calling. Calling provides that lasting motivation. Calling drives you past those inevitable obstacles.
And what's great is that we each have a calling. So we have a choice to make when it comes to that calling. What is it?
Will you live the rest of your life? Is that what you want to do? Live the rest of your life being somebody you don't want to be? Not follow, you've got a calling, but you don't follow it. Or do you want to live the life you feel called to live?
Now, before you answer, picture this. There's a group of people, and they have a problem. Perhaps they're underserved. Maybe they're unserved, period. They feel unnoticed, unattended, in some cases unloved, and they may be alone and scared.
And we want you to keep running with this picture and picture yourself. You're the one person alive today who has the ability to help them. Will you help them? That's an important question to ask because there's a reason you are alive. You have a role to play in people's lives. With every role we play, we have a duty. Duty is a word that, man, we've long since given up on that, right? I mean, we tend to see duty as kind of a bad word these days, except for the military. And so the rest of us all think it's cringeworthy to talk about duty. But there is honor in duty. And when you're fulfilling your calling, duty isn't a grind, it's a joy. It's a joy. Your calling drives you to do the things you need to do in order to succeed. You see, if you go with passion, it's going to wane out. It's going to falter. But if you go with your calling, then, which, you may be passionate about too, but the thing is, it's going to drive you when things get unpleasant. It's going to drive you when things are hard. And that's good.
Right. It's a higher purpose that keeps you going because it's beyond you. And you need to be there for other people. People are relying on you. Yes,
that's exactly it, Mary-Lynn. And when we feel this, we have to act. We have to do it. We can't just sit on the sidelines anymore. We have to respond. And you know what? It's not easy. It is hard. But the cool part is positive psychologists, as they learn more and more about our well-being, they're teaching us that it's the hard stuff, not the easy stuff. It's the hard stuff that brings meaning and fulfillment to our lives. And that's what a calling places you where you need to be.
Coming up, the key to living the life you were called to live. But first, a word from our sponsor, financialfreedomtool.com. Plenty of money for life.
Do you feel doubt when making money decisions? Let the Financial Freedom Tool be your decision-making guide 24/7, 365 days a year, so you can make your next money moves with confidence. Learn more at financialfreedomtool.com.
Today we're talking about living the life you were called to live. And now we want to talk about the key to fulfilling your calling, defining your arena of service. Should you choose to live the life you feel called to live, you'll want to think about your arena of service. So what is an arena of service?
Well, we can just go straight to the dictionary. We see that we'll talk just about arena first. An arena is a place of activity.
And so your place, where is that?
Well, it could be physical or virtual. It could be professional or personal. It could be work or home. It's basically the environment in which you fulfill your calling.
Okay. And
by the way, I should add, you can have more than one place and more than one calling.
That's
right.
A good point, too.
Okay.
But you did say, though, that an arena is a place of activity.
Yes. Well, and the thing is, you're not going to fulfill your calling by talking. Right?
By just talking about it?
So let me give you, Mary-Lynn, I got an example here that I think just fits this so well. So you fulfill it not by talking, but by doing. So let's say you feel called to be a speaker.
Yeah, you're going to fulfill it by talking.
No, you're not. You don't fulfill it by talking about doing it. You don't fulfill it by talking about giving speeches. You fulfill it by actually talking, by doing the activity of getting up in front of people and delivering content or a message that is just perfect for them.
All right, so now let's talk about the service in the arena of service.
Well, and let's note that the word service emphasizes the fact that it's not about you. Isn't that interesting? And this is, I think, something that people don't realize. Passion is really, can be somewhat selfish. Calling is not selfish. It's not necessarily selfless, but it's not selfish. And it is about helping others, about lifting people up, about making a big impact in their lives. And in doing that, making a big impact in your own life. You see, what we learn as we go along with all these things is that rewards follow you when you follow your calling.
So let's look at an example so that you can see the arena of service at work. And we're going to use ourselves, show that we practice what we preach. At Big Success, we help good people have more money to do more good. So let's talk about the place or places that we occupy in our arena of service, because this is where we do what we do.
Yeah, so in our arena of service, we are mostly virtual. Our home online is Big Success.
Right.
You can find us, bigsuccess.com, but you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are just a few we could name. But the point is, place is important if you want to serve more people. You want to have more and more places in order to serve more people. So that arena has all these spaces in it where you're serving people in different ways.
Right. We try to meet you where you're at.
Precisely.
So that's kind of like a floating arena.
Or a pop-up arena.
Yeah.
It's a pop-up arena.
Yeah, there we go. So let's talk about our activity or activities that we perform.
We create content and coach people to help them learn and earn. One example is the podcast you're listening to right now. The blog goes with it, right? We do a blog with every podcast. We publish a newsletter, which actually provides even more information beyond the podcast. And then we also coach people who want to reach their goals faster. You can go at your own route, or you can hire a coach. And we believe very strongly in coaches. We spend a lot of money on coaches. And the point is, it's because we want to get where we want to go much faster and without making some silly mistakes. So you kind of get it. I mean, there's more to it than all what we're saying here, but you get the idea of what we do.
Right. So now let's talk about service. Who do we serve in our arena, in our place of activities?
Well, in our arena, we see ourselves helping a whole lot of good people. Remember, that was what we said out front. We help good people have more money. So we want to help a whole lot of good people have a whole lot more money. Just that simple.
Yeah.
We leverage our strengths to help them, not just to learn more, but to actually do more. That's what we're going to push you, is we're going to help you. We're not pushing you to learn more. We're pushing you or helping you do more. And so collectively, us helping you, you helping others, guess what? We end up with this whole mass of people that are making a bigger impact in the world. Do more good. That's Big Success.
Well, that's our arena of service. What's your arena of service? We'd love to know what you're doing. Send us a message by email, or you can contact us through all the social media spaces that we talk to. You can find all those places to contact us in one central location at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com.
And join us next time. We're going to talk about a teacher who turned a $3,000 investment into a $700 million a year business. It goes along with everything we discussed today and last time, so please join us.
And we thank you so much for listening today. Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Tips to be your best with the professor and Mary-Lynn for your big success.
Find Big Success at biggsuccess.com.